Good afternoon, good morning, or good evening. Whenever you're viewing this video, I want to welcome all you campers, and I want to say to you, believe in yourself. That is our motto here. We want you to believe in yourself because we believe in you. I'm Mr. McDaniel. I'm going to be your reading and English language arts teacher for this camp. I'm covering middle school, 6th grade, 7th grade, and 8th grade, and I'm encouraging you guys to really buy into really getting involved this summer and improving your reading and writing as we prepare for next year's Florida standards test for reading and writing. So I want to welcome you to the camp. I want you to go online, stay actively involved in the classroom, in the Google Classroom, and learn as much as you possibly can. So in the chat box, when we go to the regular live class sessions, get involved in the chats, share information, communicate, but most of all, be courteous and respectful to all other campers and the staff. So I want to start with introducing you to what we're going to be doing this summer and who I am. Currently, I'm a reading teacher at the high school level at Palm Beach Gardens High School. But I spent like 10, 11 years in the middle school setting teaching 6th, 7th, and 8th grade English language arts and math. So you're going to actually see me again on the math portion of this for mathematics. So we're going to get to know each other quite a bit during this period of time. And what's important that I want you to understand about both of these blocks of instruction regarding reading and math, you must understand that there is a pattern. I know a lot of times in elementary school and middle school, kids think, let me guess to find the best answer. You don't have to do that. Once you understand that there actually is a pattern that you can follow that will lead you to the correct answer. And if you're actually going to take what is called an educated guess, that's the educated guess by finding the pattern and trusting what you've learned by doing this on purpose. So this is the part of believing in yourself, believing what you're thinking. So I want to introduce you to myself again, Mr. McDaniel. I'm going to be covering reading and math for you, but I'm going to focus in first on grade 6 through 8th grade, language, Florida standards, English language arts. Now it's very important in your regular classroom, your teacher puts stuff up on the board. It doesn't make a lot of sense to a lot of kids. And it will say like LAFS, ELA, English language arts. And it may give you a number like, or letters like RI 1.1 or 1.2 or 1.3. What you usually hear, especially regarding reading, you hear these buzzwords like main idea or central idea. Well, these all relate to these standards. And the word standard is important. Like you see here, Florida standards. Florida standards. Well, the word standard really means common. Across all 50 states in America, kids get tested on these types of standards. Reading an informational story. An informational story is a story that gives you true facts and information that you're going to read that you can probably use in a history classroom, a science classroom, and definitely in a math classroom. Because reading is equally important to be successful in math as it is in English language arts or in science. So as we tackle this area this summer, I want you to understand that when you sit down and you begin to read, there are certain things you need to begin to ask yourself and teach yourself on purpose that we're going to cover step by step. But as we begin to learn, there's a couple of places I want you to be comfortable going to as part of the Google Classroom. So we have a Google Classroom that's going to be set up for our language classroom, our ELA. You're going to see in your Google Classroom a stream. Well, a lot of notes and messages will be left for you in directions. There will also be in that Google Classroom an area for grades. Well, grades are important, but what's really important this summer is your learning, because I can give you an A, but if you're not really learning anything, that A really doesn't mean anything to you, because what we really want you to walk away with this summer is a confidence and a success about yourself. So when we use that motto, believe in yourself, you have something to believe in. I believe that I'm better at reading. I believe that I'm better at math, and I know why. And I'm going to repeatedly say this as part of the block of instruction. Regarding all of this, we're going to stick to a pattern. This is very important. And part of that pattern is the technology piece that we will be using to really help you get a greater understanding of like the reading informational text. How you're going to go into a story. So in this brief introduction that I'm giving you right now, I'm just going to give you an overview of these types of standards for reading an informational text. The other broad standard is reading literature. So it'll be RL. I know you've seen this before in your language arts classroom, reading an informational story, reading a literary story. This type of story or text is like reading a fictional story or a story that's based upon you finding a piece of literature like poetry. You know, as you get to high school, you'll get more literature like Romeo and Juliet. You know, more stuff regarding Shakespeare. Well, this is literature. And some of the literature is based upon reality and some of it is fictional. I know some of you have really, you know, may have seen like Harry Potter movies when you were much younger in elementary school. If you read those types of books, that's literature that's fictional. In reading that type of material, just like in reading an informational text, 1.1, 1.2, 1.3, you need to always ask yourself one particular question. What is the author trying to share with me? If you, while you're reading, you're answering that question, you will then begin to retain a lot of information that will help you to be able to answer questions for that Florida State Assessment reading and writing test. It's very important that when you sit and you begin to read, don't read words, read to be informed. That's what they call it, the informational text. When you read literature, read to become more literate, more understanding of how stories are conveyed. Some stories are sad, some stories are happy. So we want to be able to understand it. Why is the author writing this? That's one of the standards that we're going to cover. That's under 1.3. It's going to be 1.1, 1.2, 1.3 on the reading and informational text. Same thing in the literary text. So we're going to go more into that. But I also want to touch on math. Mathematics, Florida standards. Math and arithmetic, Florida standards. It's important also that you understand that math 100% is a pattern. When you learn mathematics, like adding, or when you learn your numbers, it's all about figuring out what the pattern is. So if I'm adding, which is a basic math, arithmetic skill, a rhythm skill, arithmetic, rhythm skill. If we want to do just even numbers, 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12. It's rhythm. When you learn your multiplication, your timetables, it's all about a rhythm. Once you find that pattern, it helps you to understand that you can solve problems. Reading and mathematics is all based upon finding a pattern. And for the most part, they both have something in common. When you read from left to right. A lot of times when you do math from left to right. So sometimes in math, you may have to go a separate direction, but you understand, wait a minute, I just went from left to right, and sometimes I may have to go from right to left, but I can understand the sequence of how math works. So it's important as we get into math, we're also going to use this program right here as our technology piece, iExcel. So when we go into iExcel and you go to the live classroom and you go to the other feeds and links that I have posted regarding reading and math, this is where you're going to test your knowledge. And testing your knowledge regarding iExcel, you're going to get what is called a SMART score. For math and reading. So you're going to be able to answer questions, and over to the right on that screen, which you're going to see in the other videos, the instructional videos, you'll see a SMART score pop up when you get a question correct. And also the score will go down when you get it incorrect. But in the process of answering questions, you will learn why you got the question wrong. Unfortunately, when you take the Florida State Assessment, FSA, everybody knows it as the FSA, Florida State Assessment. You get a score, a level score, a level 1, level 2, level 3, level 4, a level 5. One of these numbers. See, no matter what, you're graded on some type of sequence or pattern of numbers. 1, it's not that great of a score. 2 is a decent score. 3, it's a better score. But what we're striving for are these scores right here, 4 or 5, to be advanced and above average and advanced. And what's important is if you understand why you're taking the test, when you're taking the test, and what the test involves. Part of this summer academy is to get you aware that I'm learning this to be successful on this particular assessment test. So that's why these standards, which means common, you're being measured in relationship to other kids to see if you're a 1, a 2, a 3, a 4, or 5. In this academy, in this summer program, we're striving to be 5 because we believe in ourselves. So part of the belief process is I'm starting this process believing that I'm a 5. I'm gonna put the work in to be a 5 and to be successful. So I want to expose to you and begin to go over this once again as we begin to wrap this up, is that I'm Mr. McDaniel. I'm going to be teaching reading and math. We're doing grades 6 through 8, but we're going to focus in on the Language Arts Florida standards, and we're going to cover 12 standards, a total of 24 between reading, information text, and literary text. And we're going to cover 16 math standards for 6th, 7th, and 8th grade, but you're going to spend your time in IXL working independently. When you download the app, as part of the instructional videos, there will be one posted online for you in the Google Classroom on how to log into IXL. I will give you a password and you'll be able to share with your parents your success in IXL, and you will be rewarded for your success in IXL. And we will also have information posted in Google Classroom as far as grades and also information that will help you be successful this summer. So once again, I'm Mr. McDaniel, and once again, I want to share with you from the staff and the leadership here at the summer program that we want you to believe in yourself, and we look forward to having an exciting summer. Take care and see you in the next episode.